State calls Beverly Wigginton.
All right, Miss Wigginton, good morning.
Good morning.
If you could pause right there and raise your right hand, please.
Witness duly sworn to testify truthfully.
I affirm.
All right, you can come around and watch your step, and if you can please just make sure to keep your voice up. State?
Thank you.
Beverly Wigginton, a witness herein, being first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. Direct examination by M.S. Babcock's Poole.
Good morning, Miss Wigginton. Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Beverly Wigginton.
Thank you. And to whom are you married?
Richard Wigginton.
And were you at the Belvedere Post Office on May 18, 2021?
Yes.
And were you there with Mr. Wigginton and your daughter?
Yes.
And how did you get there?
Drove.
Okay. Where did you park?
In the parking lot.
The parking lot of what?
The post office.
So, it's your testimony here today that you parked in the parking lot of the post office.
That's correct.
And not across the street at the doctor's office.
No. I moved my vehicle.
When did you move your vehicle?
When I walked out of the post office and moved the vehicle across the street.
Okay. Was that when you left the post office but your daughter and Mr. Wigginton were inside?
That's correct.
Okay. And your husband did capture on video some of your interactions with the post office employees on May 18th of.
Objection leading.
I'll allow the question. I know it's leading. I think it's more of a foundational thing, so I'll overrule the objection.
I, Miss Babcock's Poole.
Did your husband capture on video some of your interactions with post office employees on May 18, 2021?
Yes.
Okay. And did it also capture your interactions with him inside the post office?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you've seen the video captured by your husband on May 18, 2021, correct?
Yes.
And on that video conversations are captured between you and Mr. Wigginton, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on a couple of occasions did you tell him to be quiet?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also ask him if she is calling or are we just wasting our time?
Objection on this whole line of questioning, Judge, for relevance. I don't see what this has to do with my client's charges.
Again, Your Honor, disorderly conduct is very context-specific, and so knowing what is going on and what the expectations of all of the parties involved is important to the overall charge.
Okay, I'll overrule the objection. It will be over your objection. If you want to ask that again.
I, Miss Babcock's Poole.
At one point you said to Mr. Wigginton, is she calling or are we just wasting our time?
Yes.
Okay. And you were told by a postal employee to wait outside without because you didn't have a mask on, correct?
Something to that effect.
Something to that effect, okay. No additional questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney Jenks, any questions?
Cross-examination by Mr. Jenks.
The state just asked you if you told your husband to be quiet.
Yes.
Why did you tell him to be quiet?
I was at the counter and I was the one that Stephanie was talking to, and when I'll try to explain it properly. Stephanie was on the counter. I was over here. When Stephanie came out, she was addressing me and all of a sudden she interrupted and was speaking to my husband in the middle of speaking to me, and so I was very upset because then he overspoke me. It's not that he was loud. It's just that the conversation was that I was the one doing the talking and both of them interrupted me, and I was very upset about that.
All right, so you're conducting business at the front desk?
Yes, I was.
Was he on the other side of the island at that point? Or was he next to you? Or where was he in relation to that?
I believe that we were both on the cabinet and there's an island, and I believe we were both on the other side of the island.
Okay.
If I'm correct. So, he was right next to me.
At the time he had a P.O. box.
That's correct.
Okay. And what business was it that you were conducting that day?
Besides checking our mail, I was accompanying my daughter to deliver a package so that it could be sent out, So we were getting a receipt for the prepaid package.
Okay, so you were telling your husband to be quiet was just because Stephanie began speaking to him and you just wanted to finish at the desk?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Because there was my conversation and I didn't want to be interrupted.
Did he initiate the conversation with her?
No.
Okay, what was he doing at the time? Just filming.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Miss Wigginton, you may step down. Thank you. Next witness.
State calls TW.
All right. Good morning. If I could have you pause right here just so I can swear you in. If you can raise your right hand for me.
Witness complies. Witness duly sworn to testify truthfully.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. If you want to come around, watch your step going up the ramp. Now everything we're doing here today is being recorded, so if you can make sure to keep your voice up, okay?
Okay.
All right. State.
Trinity. In a witness herein, being first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. Direct examination by Miss Babcock's Poole.
All right. Trinity, can you please state your name for the record?
Trinity.
And is Richard Wigginton your father?
Yes.
Okay. And were you with your father and mother at the Belvedere Post Office on May 18th, 2021?
Yes.
Okay. And when you first went into the post office that day, who were you with?
I was with my mother.
Okay. And at some point did your dad come in?
Yes.
How did that happen?
I went to the door and I waved him to come in.
You waved him to come in.
Yes.
Okay. Where was he?
He was outside in the car.
Okay. Why did you wave your dad in?
Because the postal worker told us that next time that we came in we would have to wait outside if we were not wearing masks, and my dad wanted to come and I told my dad to come in so that he could help us document it, because we would ask for a postal inspector. Postmaster.
Okay. And did you help your dad start the camera to record?
Yes.
Okay. Does he struggle with getting the camera working sometimes?
I just started it for him to record.
Okay. All right. And did you had seen the video that your dad took in the post office that day, right?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point did your dad instruct you what to do if the police came?
Yes.
What did you tell you?
He told me just to wait, and then if anything happened that he would give me the phone.
Okay. Did he tell you not to give your name?
Yes.
Okay. Did he tell you not to answer questions?
I don't recall.
Okay. And at some point did your dad give you the phone?
Yes.
When was that?
After the officers tackled him to the ground.
Okay. He reached out and handed you the phone.
He had to flick it to me, because the officers did not give him a chance to give it to me.
Okay. Trinity, were you conducting a First Amendment audit?
No.
No. Trinity, at some point did you write up a statement and sign it and give it to your dad?
Could you be more specific?
Yes. State is marking People's Exhibit 4. May I approach, Your Honor?
Sure.
I Miss Babcock's Poole.
I'm going to hand you this. If you could take a look at that, did you write that statement and sign it?
Yes.
You did. Is it still your testimony that you were not conducting a First Amendment audit?
Yes.
Okay. Does it say on that document that you were?
No, I do not see that it says that.
You don't see that it says that.
Objection, relevance, Judge. What does this have to do with my client's charges?
Again, Your Honor, this has to do with context, what they were doing there and what the purpose of this interaction was and what they intended the consequences to be.
I'll overrule the objection. I do have a question, though. Do we have a date on that?
We do.
I Miss Babcock's Poole.
Trinity, did you sign this document on July 7th, 2021?
Yes.
That's your handwriting.
Yes.
And you wrote the date.
Yes.
Can you look at paragraph number 4 for me?
Yes.
Did you write that paragraph?
Yes. I may have had a little help editing it, but I did write it.
Okay. And so is it still your testimony that you were not conducting a First Amendment audit?
Yes.
Okay. But this document is something that you read over and signed, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And who did you give it to?
I believe I gave it to my dad or my mom.
Okay. All right. Thank you. May I have it back, please? And do you believe this to, kind of weird question, do you believe this to fairly and accurately represent what you put on these piece of paper back in July of 2021?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, the state would seek to admit People's Exhibit number 4.
Attorney Jenks, any objection?
No objection, Judge.
And if I may keep this document also too.
Sure.
No additional questions, Your Honor.
Attorney Jenks, any questions?
I, Mr. Jenks.
You just testified that your father advised you not to speak to the police, correct?
Yes.
And this was after he came into the post office and the police were called?
Yes.
So he knew at that time that they were being called?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what a First Amendment audit is?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it based on your knowledge?
Where people go there and they use their First Amendment right to freedom of the press to record.
Okay. You were there to conduct business with your mother?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go there with the purpose of intending to do what's called a First Amendment audit?
No.
Okay. And it wasn't until after there was some issues with the staff that you got your dad and asked him to start recording? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And though you did make a later statement, do you believe at that time that it was actually a First Amendment audit or just a First Amendment protected activity?
Just a first.
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation for making that type of assessment.
I'll overrule it. I'll let her answer.
Just a First Amendment protected activity.
I, Mr. Jenks.
Okay. So did you go there with the intent or to film?
No.
No further questions, Judge.
Any redirect based on that?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You can step down. Thank you. All right. State your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time I would ask to publish the videos that have been admitted. We have made People's Exhibit 1A, 2A, and 3A, which are redactions that were in the motions in limine that were granted, so I would ask to play those 3 videos for you.
Attorney Jenks, any objection to the publication or...
No objection, Judge. There was when I asked the officer earlier that they were on DVDs. Now, and if he did anything on USB, I only asked that because there are some USBs with the same video, so I don't have a problem with that.
There were
know.
motions in limine that said we had to cut certain times.
Yep.
And so, this was the only way that we could do it.
Yeah. No. And I have no objection to that.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify for the record that that's a USB, not a DVD.
Okay.
But I have no problem. It's actually easier. It plays smoother, so.
All right. Fair questions. Okay. Those will be published. So that's People's Exhibits 1A
Yes.
and
2A and 3A.
3A.
And hopefully this doesn't make it too confusing, but I'm going to play them in the order of 2A, 3A, 1A.
That's fine. Can you guys see okay from over there with that angle? And if anybody wants the lights dimmed or off, we can accommodate that.
Video playing in courtroom.
Your Honor, can we bring that in just a little closer, or is that going to impede your ability to see it?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Video playing in courtroom.
Your Honor, can we restart that? I think there was something wrong with the video because there was no volume for a little while.
Okay, that's fine.
Video playing in courtroom.
Your Honor, the state would ask to play 3A.
Okay.
Video playing in courtroom. A brief recess is taken.
Remain seated. Come to order. Court is now in session.
All right. Good morning again, everyone. All right. We're still on the we have everybody here. Okay. We're back on the record. State your next witness.
State calls Stephanie Johnson.